Hi friends, and welcome to my channel. My name is Tanner and this is my Esoterica. Today I'm back with another Divine Feminine reading, reading for the Divine Feminine Collective. And today I'm going to be using the Cleo Duck Tarot. It's so cute. I just got it like last week and it's so adorable. I had to come on and use it in a reading with us. So I've started shuffling the deck so far, and in the cut I've seen the King of Wands in reverse, I saw the Queen of Pentacles, and I saw the Eight of Cups. So it seems like the Divine Feminine, you, me, us, we, are kind of in an era right now of like really focusing on our own pentacle, perhaps after having to walk away from a masculine, and I'm not talking about gender, I'm talking about energetics, somebody who is of the more masculine polarity, like somebody who was refusing to really take action on the situation, refusing to take control of this situation, has kind of like forced us, to start focusing on our own pentacle, on our own foundations, on our own sense of inner stability and inner security. So yeah, you may have had to walk away recently, whatever feminine collective I am tapped into, walked away from somebody in order to like preserve your inner sense of self, if that makes sense. So you saw the cards fly all over the place like I did. Everything happens for a reason. There could have been some sort of tower moment or kind of big kind of kerfluffle, something that sort of messed things up or messed up the trajectory that you were kind of planning. I feel like with the High Priestess here, you really had to, look how cute, you really had to trust your intuition with this situation. I feel like if you are showing up as the Queen of Pentacles so far, like you're somebody who's very giving, somebody who's very like doting and like motherly, somebody who loves to take care of people. So you could have been somebody who was kind of overgiving to this situation. And we have the Fool in reverse here. So this is somebody who is being maybe a little bit reckless. So this makes me think like your person was probably being reckless. Somebody was refusing to sort of take a leap of faith towards this connection, towards this situation. Goodness. All right, let's see what else comes out. Let's see what comes at the heart of the situation. The Magician. So yeah, I feel like you're in an era of kind of stepping into your own power right now. Realizing that you have all the tools that you need within yourself to create the life in the future that you want. And maybe you're considering taking a leap of faith towards something, towards a life path, towards starting a project, could be starting to work on your mission, whatever that is. If you resonate with being a twin flame, as I feel many Divine Feminines, then they do. All right, let's shuffle, kerfluffle a couple more times. 1, 2, 3. All right, we'll do one more cut into the middle and then we'll pull and see what situation Spirit wants to give you some insight about right now. So let's see what this is in this cut. 6 of Swords in reverse. So this is like being stuck on a situation. So maybe right now you've kind of been stuck, like it's been hard for you to move into calmer waters, to kind of like release the baggage of this situation with this person is what I'm getting. And we have the King of Cups on this side. So on the one hand, this is like the highest form of love in the tarot. But the shadow sides of the King of Cups are somebody who maybe can be a little emotionally manipulative, or somebody who can come across that way. Somebody who isn't very comfortable with expressing their feelings. Somebody who gets really overwhelmed and is unable to stay grounded when situations get kind of like too much for them. So that could have been the situation you were dealing with, the masculine that you were dealing with. So like even though you had a lot of love for them, you realized that they weren't showing up for you in the way that you needed. And so, you know, you knew that it would be better for you to walk away from the situation than to stick around and continue giving your energy to it. All right. Well, let's pull. Let's get some cards out of here and see what Spirit wants to give us some advice about. So thank you, Spirit. What do we have for our Divine Feminine Collective today? What's the situation that they need guidance on today? What do you have for us, Cleo Duck? What do you have to say? Woo! That fell onto the floor, so you could have absolutely been dealing with the runner. Four of Wands. Very interesting. So this is about stability. Fours are all about stability. The Four of Wands is also a card of union. It's the marriage card. It's celebration, like short-term celebrations, like celebrating small milestones. But, you know, when it comes to Divine Feminines and the Four of Wands, it kind of lends itself towards inner stability, for one, but inner stability within Divine Feminines attracts the Divine Masculine back into your energy. So I get the sense that you working on your own sense of stability is calling in a sort of union with, perhaps with your DM or with somebody else. Okay, so the Four of Wands. Underneath the Devil in reverse. Look how cute this little devil card is, though. This little ducky is like, let's see if I can like refocus her. Okay. This little ducky is like looking into a mirror and seeing her shadows, like the things about herself that she doesn't necessarily like. But this is coming up in reverse, so this makes me think that somebody is kind of like I can barely talk right now, releasing sort of like toxic attachments or toxic patterns, toxic ways of doing things, and maybe trying to move towards this stable sort of union with you. Let's see what else comes out. What else do we have, Spirit, for our Divine Feminines that came out? What is this? Ooh, the Lovers in reverse. Interesting. So the Lovers is typically about a choice, right? It's also about strong love connections, right? Very twin flame card. You can see these swans. Swans are very twin flame coded animals. They only mate together for life in most instances. So coming out in reverse, this makes me think that there was a love situation that was one-sided, like we were talking about before. Someone was refusing to sort of step up and take action, take control of the situation on their end, right? But there's also like a feeling of somebody not willing to make a choice about something with the Lovers coming out in reverse like this. Let's see what else comes out. One more, please, Spirit. Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm going to assume that's how that wanted to come out. Ooh, the Five of Swords. So the Five of Swords is all about conflict, about fighting to win, arguments, that sort of vibe. If you can look, if you can see these cute little duckies. But this butterfly here has like plucked a feather off this little ducky's head and hurt them in like a really sneaky way. And this little ducky's like, ha ha ha, I win. And I don't care how it hurt this other person. So I feel like, you know, you could have been with somebody who was really argumentative. Again, with that King of Cups energy, somebody who was really emotionally manipulative. But it seems like, yeah, you were trying to show up and get to the situation because you felt a deep soul connection with this person. But again, you were the only one really putting in the effort. I'm curious about, let's clarify this Lovers in reverse energy, Spirit. What is this about? And get some more insight about this for us. This Lovers in reverse energy, Spirit. Please clarify this Lovers energy that's showing up here in reverse, Spirit. Very specific cards want to come out. Let's see. Please clarify this Lovers in reverse, Spirit. What can you tell us about this energy for our divine feminines? Very specific cards. We got one. And it like jumped out and kind of like spun around. Because you see these are all circles. So like they flip and turn and switch around a lot. But let me see. Boop. Ace of Pentacles. Clarifying the Lovers in reverse. So somebody wanting to come in and offer a new opportunity. An opportunity for something stable. Which makes sense with that Four of Wands energy here too. Like somebody does, it seems like somebody wants to come in and make amends. Because they know that this was a one-sided situation. Like they weren't giving to the situation in the way that they should have been. So it seems like somebody wants to come in again and make amends, offer an opportunity for a new beginning. Let's see, Spirit. One more, please. Clarify this Lovers and the Ace of Pentacles energy for me, please, Spirit. For our divine feminines. One more, please, Spirit. The Lovers and the Ace of Pentacles. One more card. That one came out. Definitely dealing with a runner. All these cards keep jumping out of my hand and onto the floor. But oh, Lord. I dropped it again. But the Three of Cups. This is reunion energy. This is feel-good vibes. This is being around like-minded people who kind of elevate your vibrations and yeah, happy feelings with cups. 3 is expansion, 3 is growth, 3 is Empress energy. So yeah, we have the Three of Cups and the Ace of Pentacles. So somebody wants to come back in and offer something stable after like having this realization again, you know, repeating myself a little bit, but that they weren't giving to this situation in the way that they should have. Maybe they picked fights with you again with this Five of Swords here. I'm going to clarify this Five of Swords too. Let's get a little bit deeper. We have the Four of Cups, clarifying this row. So somebody, yeah, really ruminating on this energy, on how they weren't being an equal player in love, a good teammate in love. Airplane, I hear an airplane. Ascension, you could be going through an ascension right now. But yeah, somebody's stewing on the situation, on thinking about all the ways that things didn't work out. Trying to see if I can get any like other hits off this image here. But yeah, so somebody really ruminating on this, how they weren't being an equal player. Can we clarify this Five of Swords energy, please, Spirit, for our divine feminines? Please clarify this Five of Swords energy for our divine feminines. Woo, the Queen of Cups. That's you. So we saw the Queen of Cups and the King of Cups so far. So definitely divine counterparts, divine connection. You guys could be somebody, like you could be dealing with somebody who was of the same element of you, astrologically speaking. You could have both been water signs. You don't have to be. Both fire, both earth, both air signs, you know, however it resonates. It doesn't have to be true either, but gotta call out all the things as we see them. But yeah, this is like the struggle between you two, like the arguments between you two really kind of force you to like disconnect, like we were saying, like have to walk away from the situation and start like focusing on healing your inner child here. You see how this mama duck is like holding this baby. So I feel like you really had to, like, I saw 1444 just now. You really had to take a step back and focus on yourself, focus on your inner child, and focus on your healing, is what I'm seeing as well. And I think I said this. I did, but I'll say it again. Like, the more you focus on your healing and you elevate and you grow as a divine feminine, you're calling your masculine back towards you energetically. It's like magnets that are attracted to each other. And like when you're in like the chasing energy, the longing energy, the the crying, the just like falling apart over them, that pushes them away energetically. But when you start doing the inner work, doing the shadow work, looking at your traumas, like going to therapy, journaling, like reading like self-help, self-care books, and the more you detach, just like the more you say, I don't give a anymore, that's when they start coming back, and you're just like, well, now I don't even really want you anymore. But that's kind of the point of a twin flame journey, of an awakening, of a mirrored soul journey. It's to reflect your woundings back at you so you can see all the ways that you were lacking love for yourself, towards yourself. And when you can learn to stand up for yourself and not overgive, and to establish firm boundaries, and know what you deserve and what you're worth, like being in your Empress energy. And the Empress is the embodiment of all four queens, right? The Queen of Cups, the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Wands, and the Queen of Swords. So having strong and firm boundaries, knowing your worth, and being confident, and that confidence being magnetic and radiating outwards and attracting people towards you. Focusing on emotional healing, being intuitive, being in touch with your creativity, just like being really in touch with your emotional world, with your heart chakra. And then the Queen of Pentacles is having your foundations in order, knowing that you don't need anybody but yourself. The work that you've done for yourself will speak for itself. When you are like at the stage of you enjoying the fruits of your own labors. So yeah, embody that Empress energy. Get all four queens. Know your worth. And if this person is coming back and is offering you something, or trying to offer you something more stable, hold firm to your boundaries and say, you know, X, Y, and Z happened in the past. It made me feel this way, and I don't like that. And if you're not going to show up for me in a healthy way, then I don't need you around, draining me, draining my energy. Take your power back. Embody that Queen of Swords. Especially if this person comes back and they have kind of shown that they haven't really changed. But we'll look and we'll see what kind of energy they're in when they come in. But let's finish up this row. So we have the Five of Swords, the Queen of Cups, and one more spirit, please, for this row, for our divine feminines. One more card, please, Spirit. That flipped out. We have the Eight of Swords, and it's sort of crossing here. So it's interesting because the Eight of Swords talks about being trapped in your own head, right? Maybe you've kind of reached an impasse at the moment when it comes to your healing, like you've reached sort of like a plateau with the Eight of Swords here. It's like a mental trap of your own making, is the Eight of Swords. Crossing, for me as a tarot reader, crossing energy is energy that you're actively sort of, what's the word I'm thinking of? Like dealing with, actively thinking about, consciously dealing with. So I feel like you're dealing with the fact that you've been maybe keeping yourself stuck in this situation, perhaps in a cycle. I'm gonna get a little more clarity on that Eight of Swords too, but it seems like you're dealing with like freeing yourself from being stuck in this mental trap. Perhaps again, being stuck in this sort of like anxious avoidant cycle, which is very reminiscent of the twin flame journey. So perhaps like through your healing, through you focusing on your own cup, healing your inner child here, you started to realize all the ways that you've been keeping yourself stuck in a situation that really wasn't, that was harming you ultimately with this energy here as well. Look, in the King of Cups again. So the King and Queen of Cups a second time. So definitely a very strong, inkling of a divine love connection, a soul connection, a mirrored soul connection. So again, the King of Cups is the highest form of love there is. Let's see what's underneath here. We have the Six of Swords. So, and this card came up earlier too, but now it was in reverse before, but now it's upright. So it's like this King of Cups wants to come in and move into calmer waters with you. Again, the more you detach, the more you're calling them back. That may be the message of this reading. I'm gonna go ahead now. Well, actually, let's look at this Eight of Swords crossing energy. I want to see like what this energy of you being stuck in your head is about. Thanks, Spirit. Can we clarify this Eight of Swords crossing energy? What is this about? What is this Eight of Swords crossing energy? What is this Eight of Swords crossing energy, Spirit? Ooh. Four of Pentacles in reverse. Oh, goodness. Four of Pentacles in reverse. So this is like kind of like being unable to let go of a situation. So that might be what's keeping you stuck, is like letting go of a version of the situation completely, perhaps, is what I'm getting. We lost a card. Okay. And the Ten of Wands on the bottom. So this is feeling like overburdened. It's like continuing to hold on to this situation has been 2222. I just saw has been keeping you burdened and been keeping you stuck in place. I'm gonna look at my tarot notes and see what other things the Four of Pentacles in reverse can represent. Okay, it says financial instability, releasing control, generosity, giving, spending, openness, overcoming scarcity mindset. So you could just be, again, in an era of detaching and releasing the situation, which is what we just said, right? Before I even looked in here. The more you detach, the more you call them back. How? So I think you're realizing how you've been keeping yourself stuck by holding on to this situation, and now you're relinquishing control and like dropping your burdens with this Ten of Wands here. Okay, her. All right. I'm trying to figure out if I want to do one more clarifier for these, or if I want to move on to Spirit's telling me to move on to the Four of Wands and clarify that. So, all right, Spirit, thank you. Can we clarify this Four of Wands now for our Divine Feminines for this reading? Clarify this Four of Wands energy. It jumped out of my hand again. Oh, Lordy. Okay. The Wheel of Fortune as the first clarifier for the Four of Wands. So, like, there is a change coming. There's a fated change. Like, the wheel is turning in your favor here in the situation. I think, again, the more you're releasing and letting go and trusting that the universe will deliver what is meant for you, deliver the best thing for you. again is calling them back. But there is, you know, a fated change coming in, taking place. With the Four of Swords crossing here, look how cute. You could have been resting and recuperating, recovering, doing what you can to take care of yourself as well, like mental rest and reclusion. Like perhaps you've been a little isolating yourself a little bit for your health. Never a bad thing. All right. So anyway, a turning point is coming in the situation, is what Spirit is telling me with the Wheel of Fortune clarifying that Four of Wands. But let's get one more clarifier, please, Spirit, for this situation. Again, I think you're definitely dealing with a runner. Okay. We have the World crossing. So it's so interesting. We have the Wheel of Fortune and the World. The World is like completion. The World is leveling up. The World is leaving behind the old version of something and stepping into a new version, with everything that you have learned and accumulated in your journey up until now. So it's like a new beginning. It's like after learning lessons, a new chapter is about to start. So yeah, hold on. I'm gonna try to fix this a little bit. Okay, that string of light was bothering me. It still is. Okay, that's better. Yeah, the ending of a cycle. So it seems like, you know, the old version of the situation has reached its loop, like it's finished its trajectory, is what I'm getting. And now, like, there's an opportunity to step into a new version of the situation, taking everything you've learned about yourself, about this person, about what you need from somebody else to feel like you're in a stable, secure relationship situation. I was going to say situationship, so maybe you found yourself in a situationship with somebody. Easy to do. I've done it too. I'm in it too. So, girl, and I mean the energetic girl. It is what it is. So yeah, it seems like you've gone through a period of learning a bunch of lessons about yourself, focusing on your inner healing, focusing on your inner child, detaching, and that's calling in an opportunity to maybe start a new cycle with your person, whoever you're thinking about. All right, so Spirit, what is your advice for our divine feminines? What is your advice for them for this situation? What is your advice for this situation? I'm seeing the sun in my mind's eye for some reason. Page of Cups. I definitely see this as, well, this is advice, right? But pages are messengers. So I feel like, again, somebody may be coming in with a message, perhaps an apology, perhaps like a small offering of trying to reconcile. Like, this isn't king energy, right? This is page energy. But as advice for you, this is like staying curious. You know look how this, the water is pink and everything around this little ducky, this little page of cups is rosy and pink. It's like he's seeing the world through rose-colored glasses almost. But he's curious about the world. He's in touch with his creativity. He's in flow. He's still learning how to trust in a way. So you could also still be learning how to trust Spirit if you're still relatively kind of like in the beginning stages of this journey, or, you know, going through separation number 636. speaking from experience. But if you do find yourself in the newer camp, this is like learning to let go, learning to trust, and learning to go with the flow of the situation. Again, like being creative, like seeing the world through rose-colored glasses, like seeing the beauty in the world, choosing to see the beauty in the world. So with the cups as well, this is like continue to focus on your own healing. Look for the magic in things. Again, trust your intuition, trust the flow, like flow, not force. This is something I'm getting right now too. But yeah, like trust your intuition, and don't be afraid to trust your intuition. Do the things that excite you creatively. Anything that sparks like joy, follow that passion, follow that love. Continue to stay curious, I'm getting as well. Five of Cups crossing here for your advice is like learning to let go of things that aren't serving you, that aren't fulfilling you emotionally, that are making you feel sad and like a sense of loss. The Star in reverse is you may have gone through like feelings of hopelessness, 3131 just now. You may have gone through feelings of like hopelessness, or feeling like things are never going to work out in this situation, or questioning why the situation had to happen to you. You could have been, dealing with feelings of a lot of sadness and feelings of hopelessness. But I think Spirit is saying like continue to trust, continue to see the beauty in the situation. Don't focus on the negative. With that Four of Cups that we saw earlier, right? Focus on love, and more love will come to you, is what I'm getting. I'm going to pull, let's see what else we can get for this advice. See if we can clarify this a little bit more. What do we have for our feminine spirit? A little more advice for our divine feminines. The Tower in reverse. Don't be afraid to let the tower fall. The Tower in reverse is like trying to like avert disaster, or not letting something with a rocky foundation completely like give way, like trying to hold on to a situation. Very, very Four of Pentacles energy, actually. The Tower in reverse is also like averting disaster. So I think Spirit is saying in a way that if you can continue to focus on the beauty in the situation, continue to stay, curious and open, and in touch with the flow, very Page of Pentacles stuff, the more that you can kind of like avert the worst of the fallout, the emotional fallout of the situation, if that makes sense. Tower in reverse. Let us look. Yeah, averting disaster, fear of change, fear of disaster, internal upheaval, and rebuilding after destruction. Let's see. So yeah, I feel like Spirit is saying the more you can focus on seeing things with love, with the Page of Cups, the more you kind of will be able to avert the worst of like the soul shocky feelings of the situation. Yeah, you'll be able to like avert the worst of disaster by trusting the flow of things. One more, just because we're here. One more for the advice, please, Spirit, for our divine feminines. Well, you know what I'm gonna say. Runner. Two of Pentacles for the last card of your advice, which is learning how to balance your priorities. Two of Pentacles can be kind of frantic energy, somebody feeling like they don't have like control over all of their resources, that they don't have like their priorities in order. So it could be like the more you try to juggle the situation, like, does that make sense? Like the more you are keeping your hands full with the things that are not going well in the situation, and not, and like focusing on all of the negative, like it's going to leave you feeling emotionally overwhelmed. Again, if you can trust the flow of things and try to control the situation, you'll be able to again avert the worst of the disaster. The Eight of Pentacles in reverse here as well. This is like Eight of Pentacles in reverse. It talks about like burnout, perfectionism. Let's see. Stagnation. I said burnout, perfectionism, stagnation, lack of focus, taking shortcuts to take the easy way out. Yes, there is no easy way out of the situation. It's meant to trigger your wounds, so you will go within and do the work of healing. So don't bypass spiritually, being like, oh, this is my person, and you know, they don't mean to hurt me, so I can just keep like, if I keep, you know, giving of myself, they'll meet me. No, they won't meet you until you meet you first. There are no shortcuts in this, but you are doing the work and you are detaching. I see that, you know, as tough as it may be, you are coming to these realizations that you deserve more. So don't keep your hands full with this situation, is what I'm getting with that Two of Pentacles. There are no shortcuts. So just keep doing the work. Keep doing the work. You already are. So just keep it up. Keep it up. Keep it up. So that is your advice. What's coming next? What's coming towards our divine feminines when it comes to the situation, Spirit? What is coming next for our divine feminines? What is coming next? Seven of Pentacles. Thinking about long-term investments. Thinking about what you've put your time and energy into and if it's bearing fruit for you. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah. Thinking about what is worth investing your time into. Knight of Wands. Somebody coming in with a message. Runner energy with the Knight of Wands here. Let's see what else we have. What's coming next, Spirit, for our divine feminines? Lord have mercy. On the floor it went. The Empress. Ooh. So that is stepping into your divine feminine energy. We were talking about the Empress earlier, right? When I was talking about all four queens. That's what's coming next for you. As you continue to grow and evolve and change on this journey, you're going to step into the ultimate version of yourself. Like the most powerful, queenly, like take no prisoners, take no BS, loving, nurturing, wise. Like that's you, baby. That's what's coming next for you. Six of Cups. Somebody coming back in again, wanting to have a reunion, wanting to wanting to come back in because you make them feel all warm and fuzzy inside. But this is also healing childhood wounds. Six of Cups can talk a lot about childhood wounding. So I feel like, you know, the longer you are on this, the longer you are on the path of this journey, the more you will be healing your inner child woundings, the more you'll be stepping into your divine feminine energy, and the more you'll be conscious about what you invest your time and energy into. One more card for what's coming next. One more card for what's coming next for our divine feminine spirit. Two of Swords. Needing to go within to make a choice. This choice is all about going within and trusting your intuition. I think it's going to be, I think you're going to have to make a choice about where you want to invest your time fully. I just saw 4111 when I was saying that. So yeah, what's coming next for you is like you're going to have to make a choice. You're going to be stepping into your power, and Spirit saying you're going to have a choice to make about what you invest your time and energy into. When this person comes back around, you can choose to invest in this and give it another chance and see if this person has changed, or you can choose to not take this person back and choose to continue to focus on yourself and perhaps attract in a higher level soulmate. That's your advice. That's what's coming next. What can you focus on? And then we'll leave it there. What can our divine feminines focus on right now, Spirit, as they are moving into this next phase? What can our divine feminines focus on, Spirit? What does Cleo Duck have to say for our feminines? What can they focus on? Maybe that will be our last one. What does Cleo Duck have to say? That will be our closing question. Okay, so what can we focus on? What can divine feminines focus on right now, Spirit? The Chariot, first of all. Look, a hot air balloon. Hot air balloons are symbolic of ascension as well. So Chariot, this is all about fast forward momentum, moving quickly. So just keep doing the work that you're doing. Keep overcoming the obstacles that you're overcoming. You have the willpower to push yourself forward and succeed. So Spirit is saying that's what you need to focus on, continuing to move forward. The Ace of Swords here in reverse is also something it says that you need to focus on. Ace of Swords in reverse, this is like having cloudy judgment, like clouded thoughts. This is not having clarity. This is like not having clear thoughts. Let's see. So I want to say, like, as this is what you should focus on. Focus on I'm seeing and thinking of the Dragonfly card in the Animal Spirit Oracle deck. Question the perception of your thoughts. Like, are you keeping yourself stuck in a sort of limbo by repeating the same story in your head kind of over and over? And if so, you need to change that story. Come on now. Ace of Swords in reverse is what you need to focus on. Mental fog, lack of clarity. Yeah, miscommunications, confusion and doubt, clouded judgment, hesitation to speak your truth, frustration with the lack of answers, and overthinking. So yeah, question the perception of your thoughts. Are you overthinking? Is your judgment cloudy? Keep that in mind. Again, focus on seeing the situation as the Page of Cups, seeing the good in it, seeing it through rose-colored glasses in a way, romancing it, not to like a detrimental degree, so you're like not seeing the truth of the situation. See the truth, but see what you're learning from it instead of what it's taking from you. That'll help, I promise. But yeah, question the perception of your thoughts and keep moving forward. Don't get bogged down in your thoughts. Now, to close this reading, What does Cleo Duck have to say for our divine feminines? A message, just closing message from Cleo Duck, because they're so cute. Message from Cleo Duck. What is Cleo Duck's advice? Cleo Duck says, focus on your own cup, focus on your healing. Cleo Duck says, take advantage of any creative opportunities that like pop into your head. Self-care, really. Look how comfortable this ducky is in this big old cup. It's like a giant bath. It looks it's so cute and comfortable. So keep focusing. Cleo Duck says keep focusing on taking care of yourself and let the rest unfold. So yeah, my friends, keep focusing on your cup, fill your own cup, love yourself, take care of yourself, treat yourself, and yeah, good things will come. All right, my friends. All right, my lovelies, I'm gonna end it here. I am sending you guys lots of love and light, and we will see you in the next one, okay? All right, take care.